Lipids are not true polymers. Lipids include fats, phospholipids, steroids, wax, and certain pigments. These compounds are grouped into a class of molecules called lipids because they share one important trait: they mix poorly with water. Fats are composed of two kinds of smaller molecules, glycerol and fatty acids. Glycerol is an alcohol. Glycerol has 3 carbons, each of them bears a hydroxyl carbon. Fatty acids have a long carbon skeleton. The acid in fatty acids refers to the carboxyl group at one end of the carbon skeleton. The rest of the skeleton consists of a hydrocarbon chain. This hydrocarbon chain is hydrophobic, which means it separates from the water. Each fatty acid is linked to the glycerol by an ester linkage, resulting in a fat, also called a triacylglycerol. Lipids are organic molecules that are insoluble in solutions of high polarity such as water. For example, think about interaction between oil, which is a lipid, and water. Saturated and unsaturated fats refer to the structure of the hydrocarbon chains of fatty acids. Saturated fats have no double bonds between the carbon atoms. Hence, the structure is saturated with hydrogen. Unsaturated fats have one or more double bonds between carbon atoms. The hydrocarbon chain will bend at the position where a double bond occurs. At room temperature, the molecules of saturated fat are packed closely together, forming a solid. The molecules of unsaturated fats cannot pack together tightly enough because of the kinks in the fatty acid hydrocarbon chains. A trans fat is unsaturated fat that is uncommon in nature. It is formed when unsaturated fats are synthetically converted to saturated fats by adding hydrogen. Trans fatty acid or trans fat is an artificial unsaturated fat. It contains a trans double bond between the carbon atom. The figure shows the structure of saturated fatty acid, unsaturated fatty acid, and trans fatty acid. So you can find unsaturated fat in oil, saturated fat in butter, and trans fat in margarine.